What's up, everybody? Hope everybody that attended the TNR Arena Cross this last weekend is back home safe and got some rest. Um, yeah, man, it was a great weekend. Wanted to first and foremost say congratulations to Chris and Lorena for putting out another event that, to me, in my opinion, went flawless. All the lessons learned from the last time. Um, really paid off. Again, the event to me was flawless. The guys got a lot of run time. Everybody had a good time. There was no drama. There was a couple little issues with the network, the internet, but that's to be expected. Other than that, man, yeah, the weather was great. Turnout was good. Uh, and yeah, man, it was just an all around really good experience. We had a great time with everybody. And yeah, and again, going back to the drama, a lot of the negativity and the people that can't say anything positive, so they just have to go with something negative. Stay home, and that's good. Stay home. Um, but yeah, man, we had a great time. The team had a great showing. We did miss a lot of people. Granted, it was the race was scheduled during Father's Day weekend, and we totally respect and understand that that people have traditions and plans with their families, and we totally get it. So, to those that still made it out, heartfelt thank you that you put your plans aside to come out and do some racing. I think James Spratley said it best when he said, any bad day of racing is better than being, or I. Never mind. Anyway, I screwed that one. I butchered that, but yeah, maybe he'll comment and tell me what it was. But pretty much what he was trying to say is like, hey, no matter what happens at a racetrack, good, bad, it's still better than what most people get to do every single day. So, with that being said, back to what this team was able to do. We went out there with what we brought. We had a couple new people show up. We had Steven Sanchez and his family come out from New Mexico. It's kind of a last minute decision for them, but we're glad they did it. They got here, they got there as fast as they could. And it was great to meet Jules and Max in person, and get to see them get out on a track that was the layout was awesome, and they had a good time. Got to spend a little bit of time talking to both of them. Great kids. Steven's a great guy, real funny, laid back, and that's oh, sorry about that. Getting text messages, but they're the text messages I like to get. So yeah. Anyway, yeah. So yeah, Steven and his family came out. Big thanks to them. They had a great time. Um, Steven Antil, Ryder's dad, decided to come out of retirement recently and has been practicing and putting in the work back in Vegas on his cars. And this last weekend was his first big race. And yeah, man, he had a great showing, good qualifying efforts. Kind of went to work on the car a little bit, nothing too major, and yeah, was able to pull out a win in Nitro Buggy and 40 plus, and second place in E Buggy. So great showing for him. Super happy for him, and glad he found his excitement for racing again. So, and we're ecstatic that he's doing it with us. So. Ryder went out there and entered the pro class. Again, his anticipated move to pro, is no secret. And, he felt that this is a good opportunity to kind of go out there and see how he stacks up and get some experience in wheel time against the pros, right? So, no issues there, like I said, other than, he's just working to race in that kind of pace and make his bones, man. And I told him, go at your own pace and do what you do, man. No, there's no rush. Do what you want to do when you want to do it, and we support that 100%. So he went out there. Cars ran good. There was no issues with the cars. It's just a matter of him getting the wheel time that he wanted. So good for that. Oscar Spratley continued his upward swing with the car. Showed up with his e-buggy and nitro buggy. Took two podiums in that one. Again, Oscar has been a great addition to this team. His experience, and what he brings to the team. Pitting for James to keep him calm, keep him focused, and yeah, that it's paid great dividends. And we're excited to have Oscar on here, and we're glad that he's had the success he's had. Brian Merica was there. He was pitting with one of his friends just because he was gonna need some help, so he didn't get to pit with us. But he would check in with us, and we would check in on him. He had a great showing. He was one of the double podiums that we got this week, or this last weekend, I should say, in e-buggy. He podiumed in his class as well. So congrats to Brian Merica. He's continuing to learn a lot about the car. And Andrew Morales went out there as well. Andrew's he's definitely helped a tremendous amount, and I can't thank him enough for putting his race program aside and his prep to help with management of the team. Helps with the social media. He's the brains behind most of the edits you see. And I give him that credit because he's super good at it. And yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be able to do this without him. So a big thanks to Andrew Morales. So he was out there, racing in his nitro truck and a nitro buggy. He had some issues with the nitro buggy, but a lot of that was he didn't get any wheel time and really didn't get to spend a whole lot of time prepping the car. Because again, he's busy helping me, and helping the guys on the team pitting and whatnot. So he was out there and had a good time. We had Chad come back out from Hawaii. He had another amazing show. And let me tell you something about Chad, man. That guy hardly gets to drive. He's super busy. Entered 50 plus and 40 plus, I think, an expert in nitro truggy and nitro buggy. And I'll tell you what, man. Again, doesn't get to drive a whole lot. He admits that. But his driving style is not pushing hard. He's not the fastest guy, but he's not crashing either. He has his little mistakes here and there. We all do, but his attitude is what every team should strive to have, and every privateer should strive to be. The guy is just super humble, excited to be there, just glad to be part of the team. We're glad to have him every time he shows up. And he went out there, and I think with all the classes he ran like 98% of his laps. A couple times I think he had, I don't want to say a flame out. I think he bent or broke something, one of the links on his truggy. And he comes off the stand saying, "That's my bad. It's on me." So shout out to Chad, man. He's always willing to come out here whenever he can, and we always love having him. And he always comes bearing gifts, man. He brought, snacks for the whole team, straight from Hawaii. So again, that's what this team's all about, man. Just straight up brotherhood and having a good time. So, shout out to Chad. Checked in on him, and he got home safe, and that's good to hear. Let's see, who else was there? Definitely, I mean, obviously, we had, James Spratley. I can say right now that this was his, I think, breakout performance on this team. That kid's put in work since day one. He's one of the original day one of what I call OGs of this team. Traveled with us to different parts of of Southern California and into Arizona, and just continues to put in the work. Has a great attitude and work ethic, and it showed this weekend. He had the pace and nitro truggy. The truggy looked awesome. And nitro buggy is where he put it down, man. He ended up securing the TQ. Started first on the grid in the main, and never surrendered the lead, man. He just checked out, and just the whole time, just in the zone, just watching him drive. I'd kind of look up there in the driver's stand and watch him drive, and the kid's just, laser focused. And you can see that the work he put in has paid off. So we were super happy for James, for him to finally get that win he's been chasing in a big event. And we can't say enough about James, man. He's a great teammate and friend to everybody, always willing to help, even on the team chat, setup, whatever. He's always willing to do what he needs to do. And so he took the win in Nitro Buggy, and he was fighting already. He was getting ready to check out in Nitro Truggy. And yeah, the one thing that I think he had some issues with some brake issues and had no brakes. So he just said, I can't race if I can't stop. So pulled it off, and it was what it was, man. But I can say wholeheartedly and with confidence that had he been able to keep going, he would have been in the podium. And I think he would have been top one or two. I think he could have won, or if not, placed second. And I say that because he also had Nano Vandermolen in his heat. Nano all weekend, solid, man. Nano's always a half full glass type dude, super laid back, super humble. But this is the first time where I would check in and say, "Hey man, how's the car?" And to hear him say, "The car's the best it's ever been," and basically minor tweaks, deciding what tire to run on, just stuff like that. So it was glad to see Nano have the success he did. He was running up front in buggy. I think started was going to start second or third, I think, maybe fourth in the A main behind James. And fortunately, due to some unfortunate events, couldn't make it to the main. We were heartbroken for him because I think we could have done a 1-2 in that heat. Nano was that fast. And that consistent. So it sucks for him, sucks for us, but more for him, man. I felt bad for him. But he still came to the Truggy race. The Truggy was ready. He was doing great in the Truggy, running up front with James. A couple times I wanted to kind of go over there and be like, guys, tone it back, because they were battling for first and second and kind of like rubbing each other. And again, they're both fast. They both want to win. But yeah, it was a little nerve-wracking for me. And then I think Nano ended up having engine troubles or something like that, and he kind of fell back. Flamed out, got restarted, and I think was able to come back and finish 7th or 8th. So he didn't quit and kept at it. So Chad was also in that heat and finished the race, man. And, a lot of the other Truggies, some of the other Truggies in that heat broke out. And Chad was still running, man. So again, it goes to show that you don't have to be the fastest guy, just be consistent, and the speed will come. So, again, it was a great showing for this team. All in all, man, the same thing with Scott Banta. He showed up with his e-buggy and his nitro buggy. He's gotten way better, way more comfortable with the car, and it shows he has a good time. He's always willing to help too, always happy. Yeah, man. So we were glad he showed up when he did to this team, and hasn't looked back since, man. So yeah, shout out to Scott. Thanks for making the trip. And which leads me to my next part. My next and final part was the fact that we sponsored and hosted the 1/8 scale short course shootout. We hope to have more entries. In the end, again, people sometimes can't make it, but we did have some entries. We had our Nitro and Eco, SCT from the team cars. Scott brought his Eco SCT truck. And then we had a couple guys, from Arizona show up that brought their short course trucks, and it was a battle, man. It was fun. It was great to watch. I think it'll be a lot more fun if we get multiple classes, multiple heats of these, and I think it would be awesome to see, a full heat of these trucks going at it. And I'm hoping that's where we end up. But again, we had a great time. We put up the cash prize, and in the end, James was able to secure the first place, take home the $500 cash. And I think Scott finished third and brought home the $200 cash. So, hey, our guys got some money and went home with some money, and we got what we wanted, which is an introduction and, a showing that the short course trucks can be competitive, be fun, and draw some attention, man. And that's what we wanted. So more to come on that. Yeah, we're definitely going to be entering the short course trucks in Notch Johnson's Top Notch series. He has an actual 8 scale short course heat or short course heat in general that we can run the 8 scale. So we're definitely going to be entering both out here now that we got them, now that we got them back. So yeah, we're looking to have our team guys pilot those in those races. So all in all, man, I can't say enough, what this team was able to put together. We're going to be putting together more reels. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to do, or we're going to do a vlog on this one, since we just did the one and just released the one for TNR in January. But you're definitely going to see a lot of reels. We got a lot of footage. But all in all, man, this team really came together, and we showed that the cars are competitive, the cars are durable, the cars are fast, and the cars can win. The only question is, do you have the stones to run them or not? You either do or you don't. You want to try something different? We got something for you. And that being said, we're done being super nice about it. A lot of negativity comes our way, and we're like, you know what? We're done with that. We've already proven that we can win. We have already proven that we can hang, and we have multiple entries in classes. So you can't stop what we're doing. We're going to keep coming. Take that for what you will, man. Again, a lot of people like to talk behind the scenes, but no one's really to come up and say it to my face. So that is what it is, man. So again, thanks to everybody for coming out. Thanks to everybody that supports our team. All the people that tag us in the social media. Especially Michael Thompson with his drone footage. He's always tagging us, man. That guy, super solid. It's always cool to see him. Again, big shout out to Chris Nelson and Lorraine and that whole family for putting on an amazing event. Congrats to him. There should be no hate whatsoever. Other than, I'll say one thing. Uh, the short course, the fit skills, those were super loud. Yeah. So, but other than that, it was awesome to see them out there. That whole crew's awesome. That whole scene. I've seen, the whole group of guys. I talked to a few of them trackside, and they were like, "Come on out, man. Get one or whatever." And I'm like, I stayed away from those things because they're super pricey, but they look fun. But with that being said, shout out to those guys. They brought another element to RC, and that's all we're trying to do is get RC to grow and stay. With a lot of tracks that are closing down, whatever. Yeah, it's good to see that the sport is continuing to try to grow and stay. Yeah, I'm gonna be working on another video. I will say that we're looking forward to. I'll say this: you'll see us at the Worlds. That's what I'm going to say. You'll see us at the Worlds. So we're looking forward. We're super excited about that. And yeah, we're glad that Ford WRC is finally going to be there representing multiple entries. And yeah, we're looking forward to it. So with that being said, I'm going to let everybody go. I got stuff to do here. And again, want to thank everybody for sticking with us. And yeah, man, we'll see you out there. And of course, if you always see us out there, come by and say what's up. So thanks to everybody that came out again. People that came down that sit there and watch and were patient all weekend. Two lovely ladies that were in the pits all weekend. Yeah, Ryder's mom and his aunt Sarah, they came down and were super patient, and there to support and help in any way they could. And we love to see that. So anytime they want to come down, they're always welcome. So that being said, thanks everybody. I'll see you all later and talk to you soon.